Well, hello bulls. Old Bull here from Dubai, back in the land of sand and loving it. Well, woke up this morning to do a wee and got the surprise of my life to look at the market. It's crazy, crazy times. Like we are in crazy times. So, massive, massive correction overnight. Went from basically $122,000 to 104, I think, was the low. And depending on which charts you're looking at, my chart at Coinbase that I follow went down 107, but I think others went down 104. So Coinbase, so coin market cap, I think, said 104, which takes an amalgamation of all the charts. So currently sitting at 111, and I'll just run through just a bit of stuff here. So I'll talk about these things. I'm going to edit this up in arrears just to try and make it make a bit more sense. But well, let's start with what caused it. So this is the cause. President Trump said he would impose additional 100% tariffs on Chinese imports and new export controls. So interestingly, this is done like near the end of the day. I think this was done near the end of the day American time. So Trump has released this, saying that China's been basically approaching countries around the world that have rare earths and telling them to not supply them, etc. So trying to manipulate. So I don't know if you know that rare earths are used in batteries and obviously in computers and AI. So China's made a move to actually control that and stop America getting access to it. I've seen a report saying that this is a page out of Trump's own book. So the big issue here is that there's a meeting coming up between Xi Jinping, the president of China, and Donald Trump, the president of the United States, and they're going to be negotiating on a bunch of different things, including tariffs. And one of Trump's strategies is you normally cause some sort of hiccup or threatening posture prior to the meeting to give leverage in the meeting to solve that. And it looks like Xi Jinping has actually done that to facilitate more negotiations in this. So he's gone and contacted rare earth people around the world saying, let's restrict all the stuff. And Trump has said, that's not on. And so Trump said, I'm going to introduce bigger tariffs. And then we get a very interesting little piece of information here. So Vivek Singh, someone just opened a Bitcoin short 30 minutes before Trump's tariff announcement, and it just closed out with an $88 million profit. He opened this account today. All right, so someone's put in Big Bull's Club, probably Baron Trump. So apparently he's made some pretty good trades in the past, knowing what his father's going to do with an announcement. So this is, if this is true, and I'll always preface what I say is with if this is true, because we actually don't know categorically. When we see these things on the internet, sometimes, I mean, Jet, my son, is very good at saying, Dad, do the research before you repost stuff, because sometimes it's actually made up. So if it is true, that is insider trading and it's illegal in the world, but obviously it's very hard to prove and it's very hard to know. But it's pretty coincidental that half an hour before the announcement, a very large position is taken, and then it's closed out literally minutes after the move. So in case you don't understand just how big this is, so this is just checking with AI, what is leverage? All right, leverage is borrowing capital to increase the size of your position. So one of the problems with the crypto markets is you can get very large leverage. So up to 100 times. So you can put in $1,000 and you're actually trading $100,000. All right, so in this particular case, if you're trading a 10x, so you've got $1,000 in, you're now controlling $10,000 worth of exposure. So 9,000 is borrowed. This amplifies your gains, but here's the big killer. It also amplifies your losses. Now, one of my favorite people in the world, Raoul Pal, says, don't trade leverage. And if you're a person in our community, can I please advise you, don't trade leverage? I know that it seems so cool, but this is the problem. The problem is that when it goes against you, the losses come much faster, and exchanges require a maintenance margin. So to keep you in your leveraged position, if your equity falls beyond the mark, all right, that keeps your position open, it is forcibly closed. All right, so I've never traded like a leveraged position, and just because I've followed Raoul Pal and he's always said don't do it, and crypto is so good on giving great gains regardless of whether you're leveraged or not. So I've always thought I don't need the extra risk. So now I believe you can have leverage positions where you just they basically access another account and pull that money aside. So if you've got millions in the bank to keep paying the leverage fees, you can hold your position open. So you could ride this for the next couple of days and then not lose anything. Most people don't have those positions. Most people have a set position of 20% or 50% or whatever. And when it drops below that, the exchange automatically liquidates. And so that is what's caused the problem. And here's the next problem. This forced liquidation causes a cascading effect. All right, so when one position is liquidated, the price changes. So a bad move can push leverage positions below their maintenance, simultaneously triggering mass liquidations. So at 100, let's take $100 as a mark. At $100, it drops to $80 and 20% liquidations come into effect. Those 20% liquidations automatically liquidate a large proportion of the market, which then sells off more coin, which then drops it down further, and then it cascades down. As the 70% liquidations come in, they sell more. As the 60% come in, they sell more. You end up with a 50% liquidation and it sells more. And so this cascading effect wipes out the market. And in one of the big stock market crashes, not many, like several years ago, it was actually the robots that were controlling the trades were literally selling at stop losses and at cascade, and that's why exchanges close. So exchanges close to stop this cascading effect happening. So in this particular case, several exchanges did close around the world. Binance closed, Coinbase closed, Kraken closed, I think. So they closed to actually stop this cascading effect happening. But even so, just giving you a look at what actually did happen, it is a massive wipeout. And actually it is the largest wipeout in recent history. So first of all, let's have a look at fear and greed. All right, fear and greed went from 60-something%, all right, down to 27. All right, holy smoke. I mean, in one day. I mean, I went back through the chart here. I actually went back on Bitcoin. And this hasn't happened. This didn't even happen in FTX. So let me just show you. I'll bring up my Bitcoin chart. So if you follow fear and greed all the way back, like you come back to here we are, July. So here's the bottom of the market. November 23. So FTX crash is the last big crash. I believe this is the FTX crash here, somewhere around here. And look at this. There's quite a big one there. But for all intents and purposes, We haven't seen anything like what we've just seen. There's one there. But what we've just seen is massive. So this is a massive, massive correction. And to put into perspective what that actually is, let's bring up. Okay, COVID crash had 1.2 billion in liquidations. FTX crash had 1.6 billion in liquidations. Today's crash had 19.6 billion in liquidations. It's the biggest liquidation event in history of crypto and almost 20 times bigger than the COVID crash. All right, so now this actually tells me something. The first thing it tells me is the market is a lot bigger now than what it was back then. All right, the COVID crash was big, and proportionally, I'd like to know what percentages it was. I don't have time to look that up. I'm sorry, but proportionally, I don't know how much bigger this one is than that one, but it's bigger. So pretty crazy. All right, so liquidations. All right, disaster. Like, holy smoke, guys. This is the largest liquidation crypto's ever seen. Drop a thumbs up if you're okay. So, like, holy smoke, what a day. All right, so liquidation heat map, 1.6 billion in Bitcoin. So, so this ended up being within the hour. It was 9.65 billion or something long. All right, liquidated. Like, absolutely crazy. This is crazy, and I think it's fair to say it's manipulation. We know in crypto manipulation goes on, so we shouldn't be surprised. So where am I standing on this? I'm standing, actually let's just bring up charts. First of all, I think this is the meme of the day. Welcome to crypto, have a cigarette. It's going to be a couple of days. We're going to have to live through this, guys. So just relax. It's all right. This has happened before. It'll happen again. So it does absolutely make me smile when I see those sort of memes. So let's have a look at the majors. Bitcoin, catastrophic drop, 122,000 down to 107. This is on Coinbase at 104 on other exchanges. Ethereum, poof, wipe out. Sol, wipe out. AVAX, wipe out. Binance, wipe out. Strong recovery, like holy smoke. Wipe out. XRP, wipe out. Dogecoin, wipe out. Cardano, wipe out. So, like, this is really important to understand, guys. This is normal for crypto. All right, a 30% drawback in a crypto bull run is standard fare for the crypto market. So it's not even been 30%. This has just been a big day. But I think it's currently, I think it was at 9% or something. So, like, it's not a huge wipeout day, but it's definitely big. And it's scary because there's so much money involved and things are going. So let's have a look at gaming. Gaming got crushed. Obviously, bull, we took a big hit. Although compared to others, we actually did really well. I don't have these charts set to the same scale, I'm sorry. But yeah, Myriad looks like it actually did pretty well. But Gala got like a 42% drawdown, like just an absolute crushing blow to Gala. Coming back though, Wagyu Games, crushing. So basically speaking, what we're seeing in bull is exactly the same as what's going on everywhere. An isolated incident, it's not just bull. This is majors in all cryptos. It's the stock market. Yeah, it's everywhere. If I bring up, I've got a chart here. This is a new chart that Pizzino's been using. This is the everything bubble. And so yellow is gold, orange is Bitcoin, green is the stock market. But if we come in, and white is the actual building index, which is a different thing altogether. But it's good he tracks this because he says this is the housing market. How many houses are being built? And this is the beginning of the 18-year cycle closing out. So, but gold's up today because people flee to gold in times of stress. Stock market green, crashing. Bitcoin orange, crashing. Right, so and fleeing to gold because that's what you do in times of stress. So Dom says this was 100% a coordinated event. Many entities got filled at insane levels on altcoins. You think 5 p.m. on Friday, everyone just sells all at once. Yeah, right. The hands behind this are dirty. All right. So, there's obviously questions on whether the Trump family are involved in this. Obviously, when you've got a president that's into crypto, he's in the most powerful position in the world. And there's obviously big players involved. So, BlackRock's involved. Vanguard's involved. There's major players in the world that are trying to make money. So, very hard to tell what's actually manipulated and what is a real event. And in the end, it doesn't really matter. What matters is the bounce back that's going to happen. So I'll come to that in just a tick. Let's just have a look at this. Ash Crypto, this is a crypto reset. Literally all longs are liquidated. This is the biggest proof that the stage is being set for a massive parabolic pump. Save this post. Right, I think that's very true. I think we can agree on that this is a reset. And so what the whales want to do before they pump the market, and we know for a fact that the second half of October, so from the 17th of October on, traditionally the last 3 cycles has been the strongest 2 weeks of the year. So to have this happen right before the 15th of October, the 17th of October, just says to me, perfectly expected. Michael, the CEO, was talking to me yesterday and he said, what do you expect is going to happen over the next couple of days? And I actually said, look, as long as we hold above 1,000, let's just have a look at this chart here. This is my Bitcoin chart. And I was saying to him, as long as we hold above 118,000, we're strong. This is a strong market. And so Pizzino's now come back and said, we've got to get back above 114,000 to maintain this strength. All right. And if we look at Bitcoin in general, like if you bring this up to look at Bitcoin in general, this is really important. Like I've had this trading range being tracked since, basically from here, we were looking at it. So we got to these new all-time highs. So that's May 2025. So we can literally see a very strong panel here. This is a trading range. 125 is the top. We just hit 126,000 there. That's the top. But if you come back to here, 123,000 down to 107,000. We've been trading in here for 6 months and we're still trading in there. So it has just dropped out of it, but it bounced, so you don't worry about wicks too much. It's where things close. So this has bounced straight back into the trading range. The bull market is not invalidated. That's extremely important to understand right now. If I can reassure you with anything, the bull market is not invalidated right now. We are still absolutely in the bull market. For us to invalidate the bull market, we have to be closing below these lows here, which is down around 98. So if we drop below 98 and we're closing below 98, then at that point, that's where I'd be saying the bull run is starting to show that it's lost its steam and it's going to head into a bear market. While we are above $100,000, look at the trading range of this. This is coming right back to May. So we've been above $100,000 since May, pretty much. It's dropped below a couple of times to 98. But this has been a very strong time. But this is a trading, and this is unusual. What we've seen this year, this has been absolutely one of the hardest years I think I've seen in crypto. and I've been in crypto since 2017. So, I've known about crypto since, obviously my whole life. So since crypto's been around, I've known about it. But I've been interested in crypto since probably 2014, like actually looking at it. 2017, I started actually studying it. And 2021, that cycle, I actually wrote it. So we got involved heavily in 2020. And then we launched Playable Games in November of 21. So since that day, I've literally been in it daily. So it's been my day-to-day life looking at all these charts. So where are we? It's really a waiting game now for the next couple of days. We're in a weekend. So weekends traditionally are not strong times or good times to be making decisions because the major players are not here. The major players are on their weekend. So most likely we could see more down today and tomorrow, so Saturday and Sunday. And I would say go touch grass, guys, relax. If you need to sell, obviously sell. I'm not going to hold it against you. If you've got mortgages to pay and all that sort of stuff, go pay your mortgage. Look after the things that are really important to you. Family first, number one, bull motto. Family first. Look after your family, protect your finances as best you possibly can. If you don't need to sell, don't sell. All right, this is a shakeout. This is manipulated shakeout designed to cleanse the playing field because they are setting up a bull run. All right, we have not seen an altcoin market yet. That has not come. So be very patient, be very strong in your position. If you have money to buy, holy smoke, guys, the market is in buying territory. When in doubt, zoom out. We are still in a strong bull holding pattern and the market has just given you a golden buying opportunity. So anything like Cardano dropped massively. There's some great stocks out there that literally ETH, Cardano, AVAX, Solana, Sui, like everything had massive corrections. So if you're not picking up those stocks while they're literally on sale, bad luck is the only thing. Bull, we've got some, I've been playing Dogs of War build. We've got the new build that we've got in dev right now. It's got, I've been chopping down trees. I've been making buildings. We've been making storage boxes. Like there's all sorts of stuff coming. It's fantastic. We are building in the background. We are bringing this forward. We've got Ordinum. We've got 40 new cards being tested right now for Ordinum. We've got a competition lining up for Ordinum with real live USD money coming at the end of this year. We've got Starvin Martian coming out into mobile. We've got 20 levels coming out into a solid alpha at the end of the year with a mobile version. We've got Dogs of War coming out into a full beta version at the end of this year. The whole bottom island playable with all systems in. All right, it'll be a fully playable open world game. You'll be fighting for the first half an hour. You'll be fighting the environment, and then you'll be fighting each other, and then building bases. And so we have a complete version of the game, fully playable by the end of this year. I'm confident of that. I'm always a little bit reserved because game development is so hard. But I've been playing it myself this week. Jet's been on playing. Dak and Roosty have been on playing. So we've actually been testing it live, and it's all working. The dev team has done a fantastic job. It's really good. And Nexus, we've got several of the big bugs fixed in Nexus, and that's starting to shape up. We're going to start working on art and stuff for that shortly to upgrade that. So Bull is in the position we expected Bull to be in. The market is doing crazy things, but don't stress about that. That is what the market does. And when you're on a voyage, there's a couple of things you do on the voyage. You check the ship. It doesn't matter what's happening around the ship. It doesn't matter whether there's a storm. It doesn't matter whether it's fine. It doesn't matter whether the wind's blowing hard or whether there's no wind. The first thing you do is you check the ship. Is the ship okay? The playable game ship is okay, guys. All right, we have money in the bank. we have strong leadership, we have a great team, and we are still in a bull pattern in the bull market, and that has not been invalidated at this point. So I'm the old bull. Stay strong. It's a storm. We ride storms in this community, and we come out the other side stronger. Old bull out.